Elusive ASMR. Oh, hello there. Welcome to the Elusive Bookstore. My name is Em. Who do I have the pleasure to serve this fine day? Oh, that's quite fun actually. Did you know that you are the first person with that name that has visited us since our opening? Yeah, well, we may or may not have opened yesterday, but that's just a formality anyway. So, enough chit-chat for me. I assume you're here for a book? Well, are you looking for anything in particular? Well, we do have quite the assortment, if I say so myself. Everything from classics to fantasy, sprinkle in some horror, and even like a guilty pleasure or two. Although, I don't really use or fancy using guilty pleasure as an expression. I mean, as long as people read what they like to read and find enjoyment from the written word, we have no reason to put them down for what they like and what they enjoy. That's something subjective. Just because I don't like the writing styles of Stephanie Meyer or E.L. James doesn't mean that no one can like them and that I am in some way better than they are. That's just kind of arrogant, and I do not think that that's an attitude that fosters more readers in general. So, what is your taste? Do you like something in particular? Or have you already decided what book you're here to buy? Yeah, of course. We can certainly go through a few popular choices. So, first off, I would probably need to know how much you have read. Okay? Yeah? Well, then I think this could be interesting for you if you haven't read it already. And if you have, I would probably tell you to reread it because they are pure gems. Let's see if I find them. It's behind. We have bought some playing cards and stuff. Nothing too interesting. Just need to move them out of the way to get your book. Or books, rather. So, here we have the box set of Harry Potter books. Isn't it pretty? I love the colors and the little illustrations you can find on it. See there? Voldemort's little snake. We have Buckbeak, and I think we might just have a dragon here on parts of the back. This is kind of heavy. Most people think that you don't get enough exercise sitting around all day, but if you are a reader and you work in a bookstore, you certainly get enough lifting time, let me tell you. So, let me take out the first book so I can show you. It's usually a bit difficult to get them out, I find, because it's quite tight in these box sets. Here it comes. The book that started it all. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. You might or may not know it as the Sorcerer's Stone. The difference, it's the same book, but one is made for the Americans and one is made for the British. This is the British edition. I think there's other little differences that can be quite interesting if you own multiple different editions. They use jumpers in one and sweaters in the other, I believe, which is quite neat. Oh. I love the smell of books. Sometimes, when no one is here, like earlier this morning, I just walk around and smell the books. Don't tell my manager I do that. Probably won't end that good. Some people find it creepy, but I like it. Here, try. You know what I do when I'm uncertain of a book? I read the backside. It can be quite interesting, no matter if you have read the book before and want another edition, or watch the movie or anything like that. See how things like that compare. Actually, when I choose what editions I myself am buying, I usually compare what they say on the back because I find it quite interesting. The intent and what they want to portray, and if it's in some way something you can see from the way the cover looks, or just a little nerdy thing I do sometimes before bed. And we actually have more editions. I think over here we have the original British cover of the Philosopher's Stone with the Hogwarts Express and a teeny tiny Harry and platform 9 3/4 here. It's kind of neat. This one is a bit older, but I still wanted to have it because I know some people like to collect older covers and editions of a book. This is the paperback of the book. It's from all the way back in the year 2000. And as the movie came out in, I think it might have been the end of 2001, don't quote me on that, this means that this edition, or this copy of the book, was sold before the first movie and the real hype around Harry Potter, which is quite intriguing. And this one, of course, came afterwards, when the story was already finished and most people knew about the book. And I think you can see the difference in how they portray it and how it relates to the time the particular copy was released. Let me read, and it will probably become more obvious. So we can start with, perhaps we can start with the newer one. Strange things always seem to happen when Harry Potter is around. Things that unsettle his guardians, the Dursleys. They strongly disapprove of strangeness. It's only when a letter arrives, delivered by a shaggy giant of a man called Hagrid, that Harry learns the truth that will transform his entire future. His parents were killed by the evil Lord Voldemort, and he, Harry, is a wizard. Whisked away to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Harry discovers a world of enchantments, ghosts, Quidditch, and friends who will stand throughout everything by his side. But when Harry hears of a stone with great powers, he finds that this school has its own dark secrets, and an adventure that will become the stuff of legend begins. So that was the newer copy, and what it said. A lot about secrets and almost a bit Destiny-like, mentions Lord Voldemort. And if we look at the older one, the blurb here, or the description, is much shorter, followed by what different newspapers think about it. So let me read. Harry Potter thinks he is an ordinary boy until he is rescued by a beetle-eyed giant of a man, enrolls at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, learns to play Quidditch, and does battle in a deadly duel. The reason Harry Potter is a wizard. That's everything it mentions, actually. I find it quite interesting how this one talks more about the fun things, like Quidditch and like the magic of it all, the almost naivety of childhood in a way, whilst this one sounds much more dangerous and adult. And I suppose if you read this edition, if you buy the box set, then you probably know what Harry Potter is. But if you bought this one, you might not have, or you probably had not seen the movie because it wasn't out yet. And the Harry Potter phenomenon had not become as big as I would say it is today, or even a few years later when this edition was released. Let's see when that was. 2013. So there is a difference of about 13 years between these two. And there is much more emphasis on what the different newspapers and reviewers thought of it, which means that perhaps they thought that that was a good way to sell it in, so people would be interested. And on the other hand, this one did not need any selling in, because most people know that a lot of different individuals all over the world loves Harry Potter. I also have more editions. We have the 20th anniversary Slytherin edition. You see here with the house colors. You have the house emblem, or a stylized, or not a stylized, it's actually a very detailed a version of the emblem. It says Slytherin with a little crown, pride, ambition, and cunning, which is basically Slytherin in a nutshell then. We also have a picture here of the Bloody Baron, the ghost of House Slytherin. And it's quite neat. If we lift the cover, it's nothing too interesting, it just, it says Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, I believe. Nothing too strange about that. But it can still be interesting for a reader who is a bit more into the whole Harry Potter thing to perhaps identifies with the particular house. Earlier, during our release day, or opening day yesterday, we actually had the Gryffindor and the Ravenclaw one. But as you would expect, people usually don't want to be placed in Slytherin, so they left this poor one alone. But it's fine. I can pet it and show it off to customers. And if you happen to be any of the other houses, it's fine. We are getting a shipment next Monday, so you'll only have to come over and say that you want a book. You can always just tell us right now and we'll write you down and see to it that you get one of these editions. Although I'm not certain, there might be more than one, the first book in this edition. There could be the second book as well, but I would have to check that. Otherwise, if that's the case, you would have to go with one of these and probably follow up with maybe another edition. Or you could just go with the box set. That's always a win. At least if you don't own all of the books already. So yeah. We also, actually, which is kind of fun, have some old Swedish editions. This is The Chamber of Secrets, the second book. And this particular copy was printed the year 2000. Look at that. another old one before the movies became a thing, which I think you can see on the way they drew Harry Potter, that it's not really Daniel Radcliffe-like. It's kind of cute. And it has its charm. It has those stars up here, the heather. And when they switch chapter, like this, you have a black page with stars as well. In the back there's like these etched silver things, and the text is in silver, and it's quite a pretty one. If you want something a bit exotic, or if you speak Swedish yourself, then perhaps give it a look. I kind of want to own copies of Harry Potter in every language myself, because even if I can't read them, there is something interesting in seeing how the Harry Potter that someone in, for example, then Sweden read looks in comparison to someone maybe in Serbia or France or Germany, or you know. So we also have these editions. Yeah, of course. I forgot to tell you, when it comes to the original edition, we also have the second one up there, also in paperback, and we have also have the Order of the Phoenix, a big one, and this one is hardback. And another hardback or hardcover of the Deathly Hallows. So we have those. When it comes to the Swedish books, we have the first, the second, the third, and we also have the Half-Blood Prince, so the sixth. So we have some of the books, we have some holes we have to fill. As said, if you want anything in particular, I can always write your name down and see to it that you get a copy when they arrive here. We're also going to get some of the illustrated copies, which those are gorgeous. But as said, they should come with the shipment next Monday. Yeah. Okay. I'll just put these ones back. And you can go look at them if you find that you're interested. They stay here, seeing as you are the only customer at the moment. People usually don't visit this late at night. We are open at night, but they just don't think about it. It's not the ordinary thing. Seen as people usually read at night, I find it kind of logical to have a bookstore that's open if you need an emergency book to calm yourself down, make you sleep perhaps. I don't know. We all have different ways of reading and enjoying books. Seeing as we only have one box set, I will put it here in the back, and then afterwards, if you're interested, you can buy this one, or I'll just put it back. It's just as a safety measure if someone comes in and wants to buy it, and I see that you're a bit interested, so I'll put it here in the back. Can you take care of it? Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah, so perhaps you're interested in something else, something a bit less mainstream maybe? Yeah, I have something for you. Let's see. Have you ever heard of Unwind by Neil Shusterman? You haven't? Oh, this is a treat. It is a dystopian, and it's about right now a very hot button issue, abortion. So, it's set in a future where there has been basically a civil war over abortion, and they come to the agreement that you can't abort an embryo before it has become, like, it's been born, it has become a child, and then at the age of, I think it might be 18 or 16, I don't remember, I read this a long time ago, they can basically be aborted by their parents instead, and their limbs and such can be given to people who need it. So it's basically a way of killing young people off. I know it's quite bleak, perhaps not something you would read before bed, but it's very interesting and quite sickening, and I'm not going to talk about my opinion in particular about the topic, but rather an embryo than an 16, 18-year-old human. I'm just telling you. So this one could be interesting for you. Other one would be the one I'm reading here. It's Ink by Alice Broadway. Yes, just like Broadway in New York, I know. And it's pretty. I bought it because it was pretty, but it's quite good. The back just says, "The truth will get under your skin." Let me read the little synopsis. There are no secrets in Saintstone. Imagine a world where your every action, your every deed is marked on your skin for all to see. And Leora has something to hide. Ink is a story about love, loyalty, and the desire to live forever. It's a tale that gets under your skin. So it's basically a world where everything gets tattooed on you. And it's a way of remembrance as well. When you die, they make basically a book about your life, a skin book with all of your tattoos, so that everyone will be able to remember you, and you have to go inked. And if you commit a crime, that will also get inked on you. It's also a dystopian, 2 dystopians in one, right? But this one, I haven't heard enough good about it. I mean, it's beautiful, it's interesting, I like the main character, I like the premise. I haven't read it all yet, but this will definitely be one of the better reads I have had this month. So that could be something for you. I think the second and the third book are out as of not too long ago. And I think she might be the debut author, so if you want to support someone in the beginning of their career, which I always support myself, I find it very important, then perhaps you should give Ink a go. Okay, why didn't you tell me this earlier? You just wanted me to speak about books? Yeah, it can be quite relaxing to just listen to someone with passion, you know. But yeah, of course, you would not be the first one to ask of this. We have had many other people, but it's very relevant right now with the end of a season and the series to want to read the source material. I get that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we have it here in the background all along. The Song of Ice and Fire books. This is a box set. We have 2 of these left, so there is no hurry really, but they do go quite fast, so I would probably keep my eyes open and not let them go for a moment. So, Song of Ice and Fire books. Yeah, they are what you would know as the books that Game of Thrones is based upon. Game of Thrones is actually the name of the first book. So each season is called after the first book, even though they are all A Song of Ice and Fire. So we have A Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, A Storm of Swords. I know some editions, this one is divided into 2 books because it's quite long, even though they look about the same length, all of them. It's about 1,000 pages. So, but this one is like the complete all-in-one, which I would recommend as the price point will be a bit lower. You also have A Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons, which is the newest one that came out, and it's from 2010. So, if you haven't known why people are attacking or more or less harassing the author George R. Martin on like Twitter and stuff, well, now you know. It's because people want their book. He is getting old, and we want to know the book purists among us, which I was for a very long time until quite recently when I started watching the series. It's good. Too much explicit scenes for me, but I mean, I won't judge anyone. And I'm especially happy when someone wants to read them after watching the series, because then you get to read, you get to experience the story as it should be. This is about, the last book would be about season 5, so it's like 1 season per book, kind of. It could be season 6 actually, I'm trying to think now. I think season 3 and 4 are both of them A Storm of Swords. No? Maybe. I haven't gotten that far in the series. The HBO series. It's quite neat. There's the books on the sides and, well, some kind of teaser for the show. These books want to escape me. Let's just put this down. So this series, the book series, is one of my favorites of all time. I've heard some people calling it like a bad fan fiction of Lord of the Rings. But as I said, I don't like shaming people because of their tastes, and I don't like to be shamed because, let's face it, we all just love books. And reading a good book, well, no one should take that from you. They are quite compact, but they are nice enough. A lot of text on the back. A little notice for the HBO series up here. And the cover itself. And this edition is from 2011. So the series on HBO was kind of new when this box set came out, and so was Dance with Dragons, the newest, if you could call it newest, book in the series. And I kind of like them. They are kind of matte in a way, and you can feel the lettering, which is nice. They are easy enough to read in this format, even though they are quite heavy. If you get a hardcover version, you will definitely feel the book weighing you down a bit. So if you want to read Song of Ice and Fire books whilst you are at, for example, like a trip or something, I would definitely recommend taking paperback version or a smaller paperback version, because it will definitely make your load a bit lighter. Let's just say that much. We have these in Swedish as well, but to be honest, I'm going to pick them down. We have them at this other shelf over here. I wouldn't say they are the prettiest. Plus, the sides are kind of boring and dark. But as said, if you like the series and if you want something exotic and want to start a collection, getting different languages can be very rewarding. Let's put them back. And put back the Game of Thrones here, Song of Ice and Fire. And if you are interested and want to know how the story really goes, and perhaps one day read the last book when it comes out, hoping that it will be better than the series at HBO, so many people seem to be passionate about, then I would recommend buying these now. Or maybe wait a few years until the next book, because otherwise the wait will be painful, really painful. We still have a few books left. I'll put them back at their place, but you'll have to watch them so that no one takes them if you're interested. So, any other questions? Or should I perhaps leave you alone for now? Oh, yeah, of course, okay. I understand. When I'm going book shopping, I usually want to stay away from the people talking to me that I don't know in the store, because I find it a bit uncomfortable. So I get you. Perhaps I was nice enough. I guess then that I will see you at the checkout with a bunch of books. And remember, because it's opening weekend, the whole buying price will be lowered by 20%. So it's sale, basically. If you buy books over the price of about $10. Yeah. So I'll let you go and look. Please inform your friends of this nice night-opened bookstore. And I'm looking forward to talking books with you in the future. See ya!